Hello, all you magnificent people. Durbo the Magnificent here, and today we're going rogue. Today on Going Rogue, we're going to be checking out a game called Gatekeeper. Best way to sum this game up is it's Risk of Rain, but from a top-down perspective. I'm just going to say up front, I don't think this quite has the sauce of Risk of Rain and Risk of Rain 2, but it's pretty good. It's good enough to where I am actually going to pursue, I'm actively trying to like 100% the game. And it's quite fun. I've just been playing it. It's just a good game, and I thought, you know what? Let me just press the record button while I play a run. And I'll just do my usual of explaining things as I go. So currently, the thing that I'm trying to do is unlock all the alternate skins for all the like heroes and stuff, because they all have an alt skin, which basically just requires you to beat the game on the hardest difficulty. So we're gonna do that, and I'm just gonna hit random. Why not? This game has aspects, which are basically artifacts. If you're familiar with Risk of Rain, we got bad ones and good ones, and if you put bad ones on, you get more currency. If you put good ones on, you get less currency. I always like to put on more enemies, and the enemies move faster, because I don't know, it's just nice to have that one on because it just gives you more money for free because it's not really noticeable. And then I always put these two on as well because they're co-op only. They don't affect the game in single player, but they still give you extra currency. Why'd they do that? I don't know. And then for good ones, they're all like really great, really strong, but I don't like to put a lot of them on because I like the extra money, because the money is really, really necessary for 100%ing the game. So I just put this one on, makes you move faster, and objective time completion is reduced. It's really, really nice. But yeah, we're just going to do that, and we're going to jump in to a regular standard run on the hardest difficulty. And hopefully it will select me as a character that I don't already have the skin for. I already have the skin! Okay, so we're going to have to just choose a character that I don't have the skin for. Let's play as the Void model. It's a melee character. Melee characters are interesting. And we are in. So, it works similar, like, it's pretty much Risk of Rain. You start out, you go around the level, killing enemies and things, killing enemies to get money and experience to level up, and then using the money to get items. So we're playing as a melee character. We got a melee attack, and then our secondary attack is, well, first off, when we hit an enemy with the third hit there, which, let me find an enemy, bam, we get a stack of entropy, which will slowly fade away if we're not hitting enemies. And then when we have stacks of entropy, we can use our secondary to shoot out all the stacks as projectiles. And I believe 30 stacks is the maximum. But a decent way to use it is to just get a single stack and then just fire off that projectile. It's nice. Ups your DPS quite a bit. So yeah, each level has an objective that you have to take care of. This one is the instability generator, where we have to go and find two little like payload cart things and take them back. They're marked on the map as these blue squares. Those are circles. I know shapes. These are item shops. You need money to buy an item from them. It's basically like a chest from Risk of Rain, except it's a pick 3 because it's a modern roguelike. I will take first impression. No, this character's... yeah, take an adrenaline pill. 10% damage, 10% health. Just a good item to have. Obviously, health and damage are great stats to have. The amount of items in this game is kind of crazy. Like, I think it's... I don't know if it has more than Risk of Rain, but it's got quite a few. And the item variety is actually quite good. There's not too many items in the game that are like completely useless and lame. There are a lot of items that are like pretty niche and only really work for certain characters, or work particularly well on certain characters. But there's a bit of a way around that. We'll get to that later. Oh yeah, my other abilities. Every hero has some sort of dash or mobility. Most heroes, it's just a dash that does slightly different things. This one is the dash does damage to enemies, and the more enemies you go through, the more attack speed you get afterward. It's barely noticeable. I'm just going to be using it to get out of the way of attacks. it's kind of annoying to use it offensively because it's got a long cooldown, so you want to save it for when you really need it. Second Wind is good. You'll notice that each item, or at least most items, have these other 3 items to the side. I'll get to what those are in a second. Oh yes, and we've also leveled up, which means we have an evolution. So leveling up actually does something in this game, as opposed to Risk of Rain, where it just, like, kind of ups your stats in an invisible sort of way. You get a pick 3 of just stat ups, so attack speed, movement speed, or damage. I like to go for movement speed. Movement speed is really, really important at the beginning of most runs, so that's generally what I will prioritize, although if you don't really feel like you need movement speed, then damage. You can never go wrong with damage. I've been playing, like, the absolute shit out of this game, so I'm just gonna be just spouting advice. Ah yes, there are elites too. You can tell what they are from the outlines around them. So white elites have these big barriers. If you're inside the barrier, your abilities take longer to cool down. Also, I guess they have some sort of bomb effect. I've never noticed that before. That's interesting. Oh yes, and our final ability, I keep forgetting that I was going over abilities, is we turn invincible and just do a bunch of damage around us in a small radius. Most of the characters in this game are rather enjoyable to play. There's only like 1 or 2 that I just like straight up don't like, which is nice. We have leveled up again. God, I gotta go a little bit faster. This game is scaling really quick. Regeneration is also another stat that I would heavily advise picking up, at least some of. But we're gonna go damage, because we're on a harder difficulty. Enemies are scaling faster. We're gonna need damage to take them out. So here's the first payload. This is one of my least favorite objectives. It's random which one you get, and I think there's like 5, 6, 7, 8 different objective types. So on each level, while the objective is active, which means different things per objective, but rest assured, each objective has a way of becoming activated. So like this one is, you know, the engine's turned on, you gotta go get the payloads. While the objective is active, enemies spawn far more often. So typically you want to activate the objective and then get it done as soon as possible. Me, like, standing around farming enemies and stuff like this, not generally advisable. Ooh, lucky coin. This is an item I I unlocked it ages ago, but I never... We're gonna go HCV, this is kind of, it's basically the ukulele. Attacking has a 25% chance to make lightning jump from target to target. It's not nearly as good as the ukulele in Risk of Rain, but it's pretty decent. It's nice to have. Alright, just everything die. Quite similar to Risk of Rain, the beginnings of runs tend to start out quite slow, but the scaling is very, very nice. While this game doesn't quite have the sauce of Risk of Rain, it does have the insane scaling and just ludicrous amounts of power that you can obtain in Risk of Rain. Okay, objective complete, so now enemies will stop spawning nearly as often. Every 5 levels, you also get an upgrade to one of your abilities. You'll notice each ability has a little pip below it. I did not know you could mouse over it in this menu. That's really nice. So we can upgrade our claws to have a bigger attack radius. That's fine. Projectiles pierce up to 3 enemies, but they lose damage as they pierce. That's fine. Entropy charge as you like dash through enemies, so you no longer have to just hit with your 3rd attack to get entropy. That's okay. Movement speed while the ability is active, not great. Honestly, yeah, we're gonna go for the void claws because the later upgrades for these are really, the 3rd upgrade's really nice. So this just means, I guess the 3rd attack radius is bigger, but the regular ones aren't? Huh. I kind of thought it was the whole thing, but... Anyway, yeah. Now that the main objective is complete, now we have to go and fight the boss. But there's a couple more items. I'm gonna go grab those. These are free items. You don't get to choose anything. You just get a random item for free. Protocol 1. This is kind of like ATG. 5% chance to shoot a projectile out when you hit an enemy. It's not a homing projectile or anything, but, you know, it's a projectile. Also, another really wonderful thing about this game is it shows you exactly how much the benefit you currently get from it and how much it stacks. You don't need like any like additional mods or anything to get that sort of information. It's really nice. So normally this just gives me 10%, but because I have 2 of them, it just shows me that it gives me 20% total. Really nice, love that. It also tells you what type of growth it has. You'll see it has linear growth, so you just always get 10% for both of these every single time you pick one up. Wonderful. Do I have a linear, yeah, so the other type of growth is logarithmic. So that just means that you get diminishing returns. The more you get, the less the benefit is. So the first one you pick up gives you a 5% chance to shoot a projectile. The second one you pick up will only add 4.75% chance onto that, so you'll get 9.75 chance to fire a projectile. And it goes down and down as you get more of them. Very nice. Love having that information just super clearly spelled out. Really wish Risk of Rain would do that, honestly. So there's a big statue. It summons a boss. This boss, annoyingly enough, is kind of an anti-melee boss, which is a really weird choice for a first boss. The bosses are always the same. There's only 1 boss per stage, which is a little bit disappointing. Kind of wish there were more bosses in this game. That's one of the game's weak points, I think. But yeah, it's just this dude. This is how he's anti-melee. You get close to him and he just puts this damage field around him. So now you can't get close to him. Why'd they do that? And you just have to like sit around and not attack him for a bit unless you have some range. Thankfully, the attack has a fairly long cooldown, but it's not great. Really wish he just didn't have that attack. And then he's got that, which is, you know, just a lot of fireballs, kind of scary. There's a fire elite somewhere in here. Please activate my invincibility. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm just gonna die, honestly. I might just die. They were throwing a lot of enemies at me and a lot of elites. It can be a decent idea to just try and get full stacks of entropy and then just unleash a bit of a nuke on the boss. I don't really know if that's better or worse than just spamming the entropies as you get them. Okay, well, there's the anti-melee field again. But I'm already at 16 stacks, so I may as well just go for it, you know? And it looks like he's definitely gonna survive. Okay, there's an elite that makes enemies invisible in here. That's fun. Hate that. Okay, almost died. Shot the nuke. Wasn't quite enough to kill him. This game does require a decent amount of focus, I will say. Okay, so you beat the boss, and then you get an Obelisk of Catharsis, which just gives you a choice of 2 generally rarer items. Root's really good. So killing an enemy has a 15% chance to just, like, put a little ring on the ground, and then if enemies get close to the ring, they get trapped and start taking damage over time. But more importantly, it just freezes them in place. These red elites suck. They just strike lightning around them that does a shit ton of damage if you're not paying attention. God, we are not getting a lot of movement speed, and it is pissing me off. At least we're getting damage. So yeah, you do the objective, you beat the boss, you move on. 14 minutes on the first stage is unbelievably bad. Good God, I need to pick it up. Between each stage, you go to this place, a quiet bay, which is, it's a lot of things. It's a shop, it's a target range to test DPS, which is, again, the game's got a lot of these like really interesting, just cool little additions. They also have a forge in here. It's the item scrapper and the item printer combined into one item. So it allows you to scrap any of your items and get this resource, hammer. Get 10 hammers, I guess. And different rarities of items costs different amounts of hammers. And the different rarities of items are kind of weird and not very intuitive. Here, let me try and show you. I'll explain what this is in a sec. But yeah, we have the tiers of items are modifier, structure change, amulet, rune of creation, and cursed signature. So common, uncommon, And then support and rare is basically what they come down to. Commons, I mean, the only things that have like specific things are support. Support are like summons. They're like minions and things like that. And then cursed signature items are, they're basically lunar items from Risk of Rain. They have a trade-off. They have a really strong benefit and a hefty downside to balance it out. And this is an interesting system that I kind of wish Risk of Rain had, in that you can exclude items from showing up, which is just really, really nice. So like certain items, I mean, honestly, some of them I might actually want. So like Bad Mood. I don't remember what the Risk of Rain equivalent of this is, but the enemies close to you take 20% more damage. That's actually a really good item for melee characters, but I don't typically play a lot of melee characters, so I just exclude this from ever showing up in the run. Really, really nice. And that's, you know, extra nice to have because there's a lot of items. This is another system that I'm not sure I actually enjoy, combined with a system that I really do enjoy. Every single item in the game is locked behind an achievement. Every single achievement in this game, almost every achievement, there's like 5 death-related achievements that don't give you anything for some reason. But every single achievement in this game gives you an unlock, which is great, and I love that. That's one of my favorite aspects about Risk of Rain. And it's why I am bothering to actually 100% the game, because they give me like unlocks and things for it. I loved that about Binding of Isaac too. It's awesome. I love that system, and I really wish more games would do that. But the thing I don't like about it is that once you unlock an item, you then have to purchase the item with this currency, and I'll go over this currency in a sec. I'm not sure I like that you have to buy the item, but on the other hand, a benefit I did just realize is that you don't like end up flooding your item pool with items that sound bad. You get to see what an item does before you can throw it into the item pools. I guess that's rather nice. The currency that you get this currency, you get 1 guaranteed from each boss at the end of each stage. Every enemy in the game has a very small chance of dropping one, and there are special enemies on each stage that have a much higher chance of dropping them, but still only a chance. And then beating the game gives you a bunch of them based on aspects that you have turned on and what difficulty you're playing. And you need this currency for everything. You need it to unlock every single item. You need 100 of it to fill out this thing, and this unlocks a single item, and then I don't know what else it does. I'm probably gonna save that for last because I just don't give a crap about it. And the most important thing you need it for, at least in terms of completion, is you need 50 of this currency for each alternate skin, which is really annoying. So like the most annoying part about 100%ing this game is just farming up the currency necessary for getting all the alternate skins. There's also this, you can get a free cursed item up here, and this is the only way to get cursed items, is this shrine. Sometimes it spawns on stages, but this is the most consistent way to get them. Most cursed items I don't give a crap about, but this one I do, Greed's Gambit. So enemies have a chance to drop the lowest tier of item, but every single time you pick up an item, even from shops and things, you take 50% of your health in damage instantly. So it can be quite dangerous, but if you can get a lot of health regen, it can offset it quite nicely. I'm not going to be taking it now. Well, I am, but I'll tell you why. I'm not going to be keeping it now, because I don't think I have the health regen to keep me safe. But you can just get one and then immediately smelt it down for 5 free hammers every time you come here. It's just a nice thing to do. I don't really care for this item here. It's fine. Killing enemies makes you attack speed. Yeah, it's fine. And then also you can just buy some items with the currency that you get. Currency stays between stages, unlike Risk of Rain 2, where you lose all your money between stages. You get to keep this, so you can just pile it up if you want. This is a great item. Every time you buy an artifact from an obelisk, you have a 10% chance to get 2 of them. I promise we'll get back to the game in a sec. There's just so many systems in this game, and I want to talk about them all. They're really cool. This is another one of my favorite systems. This is the triad system. So if you get 3 items in a set, you can spend some currency to get their triad, and it gives you a bonus effect. So for example, this is one of the strongest triads in the game. If you get Jade, which gives you more health regen, Second Wind, which gives you more health regen when you're low on health, And this item, which is just an extra life, you just get brought back if you die, but the item breaks. Get all 3 of them, get this triad, then the fractal reforms every stage, so you get an extra life every stage. Really, really strong. And these triads range from incredibly strong, and you should try and go for them every time, to basically useless. The Berserker's token that I just showed you, you get the triad for it, and it just makes that give you 2 stacks instead of 1 when you get a kill. It's like nothing. Typically, you just go on to the next stage, but I bought the DLC because I enjoy this game, and it introduces this thing called the Iron Range, which is always worth doing if you are even slightly good at the movement in this game. And by that I mean pressing the arrow keys, because it disables your movement ability as well. There's no like tech or anything, you just move. So, you come here, you press this, you get to sacrifice one of your items. If you complete the task before you, you get 3 copies of whatever item you choose to sacrifice. If you fail, you just lose the item. I'm gonna throw Root in here. So yeah, it's just a gauntlet filled with lasers and spike traps, all of varying difficulty. This one's incredibly easy. It just requires a little bit of patience. It also takes up a lot of room, so I generally like seeing this one because it's real easy. You just insert. That's it. Easy. Okay, this one also pretty easy. You just run through it. You're done. This one again, quite easy. Just requires patience. Yeah, if you get hit at all by any of the lasers or spikes, you instantly fail. So you have to do this hitless, which sounds threatening, but it's really not that bad. And then this one is unbelievably easy. You run. That's it. You just go in a straight line and just don't go too fast. And I did it easy. So very easily got, now I have a near 40% chance to drop a snare on every kill. That's really, really good. That's really good. So every stage has the same enemies. So like the first stage always has those like all the enemies you saw, the rock golems, the big laser towers. That will always be on the first stage, but there are different first stages that can show up. Ooh, this is my favorite objective. Ooh, Opal Eye, just extra damage. Wonderful item. Hey, there's the snare. They're just stuck, and it does damage over time. It's really good. Also, completely unsurprisingly, another game where this... another aspect that this game lags behind Risk of Rain is the soundtrack. Obviously, because they don't have Chris Christodoulou doing the soundtrack. The soundtrack's alright, it's serviceable, but it ain't Chris, obviously. So this objective is really simple. Kill enemies while they're inside the circle. I love this objective, because it just spawns a shitload of dudes and you gotta kill them. It's great. Great fun. So one of the primary reasons I like to go for movement speed is because it makes the Iron Range really easy, the higher movement speed you have. Man, we are already cooking. Like, I feel like our build is already quite strong. Which is not something you typically see from the second stage of the map. Oh, here's another elite, by the way. We saw one of these in the last stage. When you kill this one, puts down an immortality field. Enemies cannot be killed while they're in here. It really sucks. I hate these guys. Oh, this is a rampart. Rampart? I don't remember what they're called. Each stage has their own unique boss and own unique rampant, which is basically a just specialized enemy that has a higher... This is the enemy that has a higher chance to drop a currency. Ooh, okay. Killing an enemy grants entropy charge. Sure. I really just want the third stage of the claws. Dude, the root is so good. Oh my god, dude, we're cooking them. Typically standing in a crowd like this is just a death sentence, and I am gonna die, so maybe I should chill out. Oh, we leveled up and got our health back. Never mind, we're chilling. This character is really strong, honestly. Which I guess makes sense. It is a kind of a secret character. I had to look up how to unlock them, because the game sure don't tell ya. I mean, of these, I guess I'll take regen. God. These pink elites have a cloud around them that makes enemies invisible, and it's, scary. And now they're invincible. I can't see them, and they're in... God damn. Okay, I died. God damn it. Honestly, just throw me back. Alright, let's try this again. I'm just gonna go faster, because we don't need... Ooh, that's new. Lightning strikes a random enemy within a radius of 20. I guess that. Every 10 seconds. Okay, cool. Cool. That's an interesting item. This is one of the best items in the entire game. You get health every time you hit an enemy with any skill. It's really good. It scales linearly. You just get 1 health per hit. Per item, which is an item in Risk of Rain and not a particularly good one in Risk of Rain, but in this game it's really, really good because it's easy to get relatively high stacks of it. And by high stacks I mean like, I don't know, 9 of them. Oh, I didn't activate the instability generator when I walked past it. That was stupid. Ooh, here's another type of shop. This one always gives you a support item, one of the minion items. And because of that, it's one of my least favorite shops, because it's extra expensive and support items generally aren't that great. Even if you don't have the money to buy it, you can check what items are in it, which is really nice. We'll take Juju. Hitting enemies has a 10% chance to summon Juju, which is a little dude that will come out and bonk enemies on the head 10 times. It's okay. There he is. Bonk. But if there's no enemies around, then he just leaves. Chance to receive a discount at the obelisk. I'm gonna take that, because I've never had that before. For most characters that have, like, default movement speed, I generally recommend getting around 10 levels of movement speed. Or, you know, whenever speed says, like, 150% or so. A little less than 150%, you could probably get away with lower. 150% is enough. You'll never need any more speed after that. That's one thing that this game doesn't have that Risk of Rain 2 does have, is proc coefficients, which it's a bit of a nerdy topic, but basically every attack in the game in Risk of Rain has a proc coefficient, which is a number that tells the game how likely it is for that attack to proc items that have a chance to happen. So generally attacks that have faster attack speeds have a lower proc coefficient, meaning they generally trigger effects less often because they hit more often. That's not a thing in this game, so attacks that hit really, really quickly, like Fade here, which hits once every 0.1 second, really good for triggering abilities. Go, my Jujus! Look at them go! They're not very good, but it is funny. Oh! So this is what the discount is. One of the 3 items gets discounted. That's interesting. Ah, there's a ramp in here. Maybe that's why I'm dying. Bro, I think I'm just gonna lose. That item pairs really well with the hitting enemies, you know, heals you. Let's try the piercing projectiles, honestly. You generally want to try and focus the boss in these events, because enemies just spawn like crazy until he dies, so... Got him. Alright, what we get? Yo, confines! So this is, it's plasma shrimp, except without the, shield requirement of plasma shrimp, if you don't know what that means. Look, hitting enemies makes little projectiles fly out of me and deal damage to enemies. It's really good. Really, really nice. Just free damage, basically. Movement speed, hell yeah. Ooh, this is an item I haven't seen. Killing an elite grants a barrier that blocks 1 hit. When the barrier absorbs damage, it explodes for 500% damage. Sweet, that sounds awesome. And it also just gives you a barrier to start with. That's really nice. Yeah, we'll just take a random item. I don't want any of them, so we're just gonna come in here and throw it in. This resource, if I didn't mention, it carries over until you spend it. So, what are we getting this time? Oh, getting 3 confines would be so nice, but losing it would suck. You gotta go for it, dude. The other options were awful, so. Wonder if the barrier would take a hit from this. Probably not, honestly. Bro, I gotta focus. Oh my god. There we go. Jesus Christ. Easy money! So now we get little projectiles that do 210% damage, which is already more than my default attack. Bro, that's so good. That's so strong. The Iron Range is crazy. It's a little sad that it's a DLC exclusive mechanic, but it's great. I've seen a lot of people in the reviews of the DLC saying that they just don't like it, that it's a lame thing that they just ignore. Why? Why would you ignore the kind of power that you can get from it? It allows you to stack your items in ways that, like, it's awesome. I love the Iron Range. It's a little boring, honestly, but I don't care. The amount of power it gives you is just so much fun. Yeah, the Jujus are kind of going nuts. If I could get more Jujus, that'd be nice, because it ups their damage. And they're bonking an immortal dude. Why are you shooting the ubercharged heavy? Damage! Step into my blender. Triumph! So every time you get a kill, your next primary attack does 50% more damage. Scales linearly. Very nice item. Love to see it. Eternal Heart, absolutely need more of those. Bane Seal is also nice because its triad is one of the strongest triads in the entire game, but we're gonna go Eternal Heart. And we got a Shrine of Combat. These are pretty rare. Kill a bunch of enemies and then get money based on how quickly you kill them. And also, all the enemies, you know, drop money and experience normally. So it's just really good. More damage, because you refuse to give me movement speed for some reason. Kill. Ooh, F you. Get shredded. Get annihilated, dude. Oh my god, I didn't think just how strong that attack is going to be with the extra projectiles we get. Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. Just, like, look at all the little purple things. Holy. Bro, we're cooking them. It's a shame that attack has such a long cooldown. What are the extra things? Removes negative effects, grants an entropy for each enemy within the radius upon activation. Bro, those suck. What are we doing? Projectile hit restores health. Ooh, okay. You know what? Sure, let's go projectile build. Kind of glad we died. This run is so much more fun. F it. Let's get a little bit of crit chance. Crit chance enables a lot of things, a lot of different items, so it is nice to have. First impression, enemy, it's crowbar. Enemies with more than 80% health take more damage. It's not as strong as crowbar, but it scales pretty well. Generally better on enemy characters that attack slower and do higher damage, but the blender, it blends so well now. God damn it. Movement speed. We already filled it. God, it's... God, we're cooking. And let's fight the boss. Screw it. Let's not even clear dudes out. Quantum. This dude thinks he's cool. He's not, though. Half of his health is gone because we're just that strong. Good God. Yeah, nice attack, loser. Oh, that one actually hit me. Nice. That attack doesn't hit you if you stand directly in front of him or directly behind him. It's really funny. Ooh. Okay, so this is a great item for certain characters, not for me, though. Stunned... Attacks against stunned enemies, guaranteed crit. Fantastic. Doesn't work for this character because I don't have anything that stuns. There are items that let you stun, but I don't have any. Or reroll. You get a free reroll at every obelisk or shop or anything. Well, almost anything. Veil Talisman, don't care. Blue Pill, we care. Do I have anything that sucks? Honestly, the Lucky Coin, I'm not impressed. The discount is what scales with that? Yeah, no, get rid of that. Turn it into movement speed. I don't care about Will Tase very much. Give me a movement speed. One first impression isn't that great. Give me movement speed. What's our movement speed? 116%. We're pretty much good, honestly. This item is literally useless for this character. It's backup mag. It gives you a second charge of your second ability. But this character can't get more charges of this because it's based on buff stacks. But again, the triad for it is incredible, so I'm going to buy it anyway. What are we getting this time? Fun stuff? Yeah, I think getting Juju would probably be really good, because we've seen how many we can throw out. So we're gonna get Jujus that would do 450% damage if we can, you know, win. Hell yeah, so now we get Jujus that do 450% damage. Stage 3, we didn't get here last time. This is the Halloween stage. Kinda. This one's weird. Oh, and do enemies... Yeah, enemies have shields now. And they shoot souls out when we kill them. That's really annoying. I don't really want any of these. Okay, I want these even less. I guess Nomad's stick. Go, my Jujus. Okay, the damage they do is not crazy. I was kind of hoping it would be more. I don't want a spark. Fissure is incredibly necessary. We need that. So this is an item that just makes all your attacks have a chance to actually hit immune enemies. It's really good. Kind of a difficult item to unlock, but it's so worth it. I haven't noticed Null Bubble, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm just gonna get rid of it. So now our attacks have a 50% chance to go through Immunity Shield, which is really, really nice. Ah, another one of my least favorite objectives. Stay in the zone and charge the thing. But each quarter, this one's hard to explain. Every time you get 25% of it done, as well as, you know, starting the event, it adds a modifier onto the circle. So this one, every stage heals me. And now, it's gonna try and nuke me with these sky lasers. And this thing's charging a lot faster than normal because I have the aspect that speeds these things up. Really, really good. Oh, hey, how's it going, buddy? Die? Oh, you're invincible? That's cool. You're not, actually, because I have the thing that lets me bypass that. Okay, now it spawns a reinforced horde. Okay. Things are going, they're going okay. Oh, there's another one of these dudes. Die. And another one, good God. And another one, oh my goodness. They are trying to kill me, I think. God, if I stand still for like 1 second, I'm dead. None of those guys dropped currency. Whew, holy, let's get attack speed, why not? Hey, it's the worst enemies in the game. Enemies that run away from you and then shoot homing missiles at you from anywhere on the map. Who thought that was a good idea, huh? So the reason enemies are shooting these orange souls out of them when they die is a stage hazard, which is just an event that has a random chance of happening. Look at all these homing missiles coming in from off screen, dude. That is just so annoying. But yeah, this stage hazard is particularly deadly because if those just do a lot of damage. If you stand still, you're just toasted. Get eviscerated, idiot. Alright, let's go kill the boss. The collector. Oh, okay. This is getting a little bit rough, honestly. Blend. These tombstones are a problem. Those homing skulls are a problem. Ooh, me dying. That's an issue. We're fine, we're fine. This is okay, this is fine. It's just a normal amount of projectiles and enemies and things. More damage. Money. No, I didn't. I thought that was the item pillar. This item seems interesting. Chance to stun an enemy on hit. That's kind of crazy, honestly. That's a newer item. Root. I want root. Root's good. This, by the way, just picks 3 random items that you have. I could make them more. Or I could get more. Nah, we gotta go for this, dude. This one looks really scary and is, if you're not paying attention. Oh, buddy. And now we get little missiles that do 350 damage. Bro, this is insane. I've never had like 6 of them. Well, I have 5 of them because you sacrifice one to start with, but... Oh, that's good. Yeah, so these little purple projectiles that we're shooting out are just... we're just shredding. Especially on this stage. This stage is a bit of a difficulty jump, usually. Enemies are really tanky here. Eternal Heart. Every time. This one. Gotta go find 3 little zones to stand in. Hey, there's one right there. Oh, and this is the variant where it makes the zones push you out. That's annoying. It's like that one event in Risk of Rain 2 on the moon that nobody does. Wonder if a single person on Earth knows what I'm talking about. Risk of Rain's a popular game. People know what I'm talking about when I say that one event on the moon that nobody does that's similar to the thing that pushes you out, you know? Ooh, Fire Elite. Oh, that's scary. I don't like you. Die. Step into my blender. Oh my god! I know this is like probably the first time you're seeing this, so you don't really have any reference for how tanky these enemies normally are, but good lord, we're doing a lot of damage. This boss can be really scary, so let's try our best. Ooh, okay. God, we are taking a lot of damage. But we're shredding. God, those homing fireballs are not friendly. Okay, well, we're fine. We kicked complete ass. Delusion! Killing a rampant, the glowing orange dudes on each stage, creates a black hole that does 1000% damage when it detonates. Yeah, it's really, really good. Of course, it only activates when you kill those specific enemies, and there's no way to make it activate on regular enemies at all, ever. Okay, so I'll just tell you that triad. So if I got the Bane Seal, I already have the backup mag type thing, the little orange thing there. If you get all 3 of those, so Bane Seal, what that does is when you hit an enemy, you have a chance to inflict a debuff on them that just makes them take more damage. Pretty basic. But if you get all 3 of those and get that triad, every enemy you kill that gets inflicted by the Bane activates the black hole. It's insane. Basically, like, you just have a relatively high chance of creating a black hole every single time you kill an enemy, and it's disgustingly strong. Yeah, we're gonna take Eternal Heart. So now we get even more health per hit. We get 8 health per hit, and we only have 300 health, and we hit like 1,000 times per second. We're nearing immortality. Like Risk of Rain 2, though, this game, like, if you're not paying attention, if you stop paying attention for like a single second, you can very, very quickly die. I hate these things. This is another area event. If you're fast enough, you can just step over these without any, if you're fast enough and you just keep moving, you can just step over them without any trouble, which is really nice, because getting hit by these does some damage and slows you to a crawl, which is an unbelievably deadly thing if you're in the middle of a crowd. Ooh, there's a good shrine up here. The icon for this shrine is barely different than a regular one, but it gives you a rare item. Damn it, I thought that was... all of these are bad. Charged core? Yes. So extra charge for your 4th skill. Absolutely. Good God, that's gonna be nice. Also, bosses are called sirens in this game. That took me a little bit to work out. They have a lot of... It's weird what they decide to use normal terms for, or like, I don't know, industry standard terms for, and what they decide to come up with new names for. So this one, you gotta go open these boxes. 3 boxes have keys in them, 3 boxes are empty, and then you use the keys on these towers, and there are 3 towers. Sure, Tara. I hate this boss. 1, because it can kill you incredibly quickly if you're not paying attention, and its attacks are kind of hard to see, and 2, because it takes 3 million years to spawn. Oh good, now it's invisible. Oh, and there's... Oh! This is bad. This is really bad. This is incredibly bad. Ooh, I keep stepping in the fire. I'm dead. So that fire on the ground there that just dissipated, yeah, it kills you instantly if you step in it, and it's incredibly difficult to see. Man, that was such a strong run. Alright, well, I guess I'm not gonna get to show you the end of the game. That is incredibly unfortunate. But it also means you gotta go play the game for yourself. And I would recommend it. This game, like I said, it's Risk of Rain from a top-down perspective with a lot of really interesting and fun systems in it. Here's all the items, by the way. I don't even have all of them unlocked. It's around the same amount of items as Risk of Rain, I feel. And the item variety is very good. I feel like they do a really good job of having most of the items in this game are interesting and useful, at the very least in niche cases. This game's just great. Honestly, I really, really like it. It's not gonna last as long as Risk of Rain did. I think I have like 400 hours in Risk of Rain. I have about 40 hours in this game and probably won't be going for too much longer. I don't know, maybe I'll hit like 80 hours. I don't know. Depends how long it takes to unlock all the skins. So just for the hell of it, I'm gonna do just a quick tier list of all the characters, just because I love talking about this game, I guess. I don't know. First guy, starting guy, probably about a B tier. He's okay. He's fine. His abilities are just like, he's got like a gun, he shoots a fireball, he's got a regular dash, and then he's got like the glaive that the Huntress has in Risk of Rain 2. He's alright. He's cool. He comes with an extra life, so that's kind of nice, but I don't know, about B tier. He's not great. Nidum is a melee character, so he smacks dudes. He throws a piercing glaive that returns. He's got a dash. Almost every character just has a dash, except for one. And then he has shoot a million homing projectiles that do a lot of damage and is just real good. Certain builds can make this dude just incredible. I mean, everyone can be crazy strong with the right build, but Nidum, like if you really build into his 4th ability, he can go crazy. But otherwise, he's a little bit tougher to get off the ground. Probably, I'd say like a higher B tier. I enjoy him more. Maybe a low A. Pandora is very similar to the base character. Kind of. Has a projectile. Has a little like short range blast. A dash that spawns a healing zone, which is nice. And then put a zone of lightning on the ground. Is good. It's fine. She's all right. Probably, again, B tier. She is probably a little stronger than the base character, but is like really, really squishy. Dies real quick. So survivability is a must for her. This dude's Bastion, he's got a big hammer. Take a guess what my rating for him is. That's right, it's S tier. He's the best because he's got a big hammer. His attacks are hit people with a hammer, dash, and roar. He stuns dudes around him. He's the best. He's the best character in the whole game. I love him. He's really, really strong. The only downside to him is that he's really slow, so you'd need like extra movement speed to make him tolerable. But once you get that, he's the best. I love him. Building into his second ability is incredible. He's amazing. Tech Hunter is weird. So it's the worst character in the entire game at the start of the run. Just abysmal. Has a shotgun with like the lowest attack speed I've ever seen in any game. It's unbelievably slow. A second ability is a grenade that takes 3 whole seconds to detonate, and you can cook it, but while you're cooking it, you can't do anything else. So you're just, either way, you gotta wait. And the explosion's really tiny and does like barely any damage. It's awful. It's a terrible ability. He doesn't get a dash. He's the only character in the game that doesn't have a dash for some ass reason. I think. I don't know, maybe there's another one. But his ability is he puts a clone down, and then if you use the ability again, you teleport to the clone. The clone doesn't do anything, by the way. It's just, you just put it there. It doesn't draw aggro, it doesn't shoot nothing. You just put a little hologram down, and you can teleport to it. And it has like the longest cooldown of any dash in the game, and it's the worst. It's awful. I don't know why they gave this person these 2 abilities. It's just dog water. Horrible. And then his fourth ability is really strong. You mark a zone or an enemy, and then it just orbital strikes that enemy a bunch of times. It's pretty good. Does a lot of damage. But yeah, at the beginning of runs, this guy's just horrible. And then he can also be one of the strongest characters in the game if you are able to survive long enough, because like just the upgrades for his shotgun are really good. He's got insane crowd control capabilities once you get there. Starting off a run with this dude, he's F tier. I hate him. But then if you can survive long enough, he works his way up to like a high A, maybe S. Really good. Mediator, probably an A tier, just fun. Shoots a projectile that explodes into homing projectiles. It's pretty cool. Slow attack speed, but it's much more tolerable than the shotgun dude because he actually does damage. And then you can curse an enemy to make him like have a zone around him that every time you hit him, it hits the enemies around him. Interesting ability. Gets a dash. No, not quite a dash. You just become immortal and get movement speed, which is basically a dash, and it lasts for 3 seconds. It's pretty nice. And then a really weird ability where you press the button and then all the enemies around you within a radius shoot out a projectile from them to you. And the projectiles don't do anything once they get to you. You just absorb them. And if the projectiles pass through another enemy, it will damage the enemy it passes through, but it doesn't directly damage the enemies that it pulls the souls out of. It's a really weird ability. With high movement speed, you can like kind of whip the projectiles around yourself in kind of an interesting way and do a lot of damage if you like stack up a whole bunch of them, but it's really weird. I don't know how I feel about that ability, but his like base attack is really fun. I don't know. I really like that guy. Probably a high A tier. This dude, high A, low S, awesome, super interesting character. His primary attack is you click on an enemy and it emits a wave from the enemy, a really short range wave, but it emits a wave and it hits all the enemies around it and itself. And it's cool. He just point and click on dudes to hurt them. It's interesting. His second ability is you spawn a bomb wherever you click, and it has a short fuse, and then it explodes. Cool. It's like the grenade, except it's actually good. And then his teleport is he shoots out a disc that just goes infinitely in one direction until it hits a wall, and then if you press the ability again, you teleport to that disc. So it's kind of like this dude's teleport, except it's actually useful, and it has a lower cooldown, and it does damage. Seriously, why does this ability exist? It pisses me off so much. And then his fourth ability is really cool. He puts up a tuning fork on the ground, and if you attack the tuning fork, it shoots out bigger waves that then chain waves from enemies that get hit by the big wave onto other enemies, and it does a lot of damage and is really cool. This is probably For a while, he was my favorite character in the game, and he might still be. He's really, really cool, really creative. One of my favorite characters that I've seen in a roguelike. Just super cool. Void Model, we saw her in the video. She's awesome. Probably an S tier, maybe high A. You saw all her stuff. Aegis, this is the guy you get for beating the game for the first time, and he sucks, and I hate him, and he's awful. His primary ability is he shoots a piercing shot. It's cool, it's fine, it does decent damage. His secondary ability is he puts down a tower, and if you stand near the tower, it's a flamethrower that shoots enemies, and that's it. It can take aggro, so it's kind of nice, but the damage it does isn't great. Its third ability is it like inherits items that you have, so that makes it pretty good, but that's kind of an investment. His dash is awful. You become immortal for 4 seconds. That's it. So it's this guy's, except you don't get the movement speed. That's it. Also, if you attack at all or do anything while you have that ability active, it immediately deactivates it. So if you like accidentally press it while still holding your primary attack or whatever, it just immediately cancels it and you die. I've gotten killed so many times by trying to use this ability to get away and then accidentally canceling it. It's horrible. Why doesn't this give you movement speed? It pisses me off so much that this doesn't give you movement speed. It just makes you immortal. It's literally this, but worse. Why? And he's harder to get, I think, kinda. And then his fourth ability is you double the attack speed of your primary ability while having your movement speed for 6 seconds. Kinda strong. The have movement speed is awful and can really get you in some trouble. I hate this character. Honestly, he's probably like a C tier. I want to put him in D because I just hate him, but he's probably like a C, honestly. And then the DLC character is another melee character. Their kit's weird and I don't like it, and I'm not a fan of this character, probably C tier. I'm not really gonna go into them very much because they're DLC and most people won't have him anyway. But yeah, there we go. There's the tier list. I'm gonna quit yapping now. If you stuck around for the whole video, great, cool. Thanks for that. I don't know why you would. It's just me talking just the most in-depth stuff about a game nobody's heard of and nobody plays. But man, I enjoy it. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this episode of Going Rogue. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a magnificent day. Durbo the Magnificent out.